Hey, what's going on? Kaya-chan here, and I'm back for another anime review, and today's review is on the anime Ghost Hunt. All I can say is this series is absolutely epic. Epic, epic, epic. I cannot stress that enough. And I just want to give the quick shout out to Two's Lover, who introduced me to this series. Thank you so much for recommending it, because it is absolutely awesome, and I fell in love with it the moment I started watching it. If you guys are interested in the paranormal, this is definitely an anime for you. So go ahead, go watch it, go buy it, go support it, you will not regret it. As I do in all of my anime reviews, I'm going to start off by introducing you guys to the main characters, but since all the main characters were introduced in the first episode, I'm just going to talk about that instead. So let's get started. So the first episode starts off with Mai, and she's sitting in this empty classroom with a couple of her friends telling ghost stories. Once she finishes with her story, she tells everyone that it's time to shut off their flashlights. And what's supposed to happen is when everyone shuts off their lights, there's supposed to be one light remaining, and that light belongs to a ghost. So as they're doing that, they suddenly hear a voice of someone they assume to be a ghost. But when they turn around, they see that there is a young man standing beside the door who flipped on the lights, in turn scaring the crap out of everybody. So Mai's friends get up and they talk to him, and they discover that he's interested in the paranormal, and they invite him to join them in their next meeting when they tell him the ghost story. Mai's a little bit curious, but she decides to let it go and go on her merry way. Later on, she goes to the old schoolhouse where a lot of the old stories originated from. And when she gets there, she sees this camera in the middle of the entryway, and she's wondering what's it doing there. So she gets a little bit closer to it, and then she suddenly gets yelled at by the third main character of the series, whose name is Lynn. She gets startled, and then all of a sudden, this bookcase starts to fall toward her. And it looks like she's going to be crushed, but then Lynn pushes her aside, getting her instead. This in turn brings Naru in, who's like, what the heck is going on here? He sees Lynn on the ground and has to take him to the hospital. And in exchange for hurting his assistant, he demands that Mai work for him on his current assignment. She later finds out that Naru is this head of this paranormal society, and that he's there at the school to see if the old schoolhouse is haunted or not. And, she learns a couple things about him, and that's where the nickname came from. He is a narcissist in her eyes, because he is so self-absorbed, he's all like, I'm a hotshot kind of thing, and that's why he got the nickname Naru. So as the episode goes on, they're trying to discover if this place is haunted or not, but then all of a sudden, a couple other people who are in the paranormal field decide they're going to come and see if they can solve this. They were also hired by the same person who hired Naru, because they didn't think that he could handle it. So now we're introduced to our other main characters, and they were hired by the same person who hired Naru, who I think was the principal of the school. He really didn't think that Naru could handle it, and that's why he hired everybody else. So we have Takegawa, who is a monk, who everyone refers to as Monk throughout the series. They don't call him by his real name. And the ironic thing is, he really doesn't look like a monk. When you picture a monk, you picture robes, and they're bald, and all this other stuff. He doesn't look like that at all. He has long hair, and he wears fashionable clothing, and he claims the only reason why he doesn't really fit the monk persona is because of his CDs. They didn't allow his CDs up where he lives. So that's why he says, oh, I don't look like a regular monk. Then we have a priestess, whose name is Matsuzaki, and everyone picks on her too, because she looks like this older lady. And they're like, you can't be a priestess. Priestesses are young virgins. And they pick on her about that a lot, especially during the first couple episodes. They really don't pick on her as much later on, but that seems to be like the running joke for a long time. Then we have John Brown, who is a priest. We have all kinds of denominations of faith going on here. He's a priest from Australia. And the last person is a spiritual medium, and her name is Masako. So we have a spiritual medium, a priest, a monk, and a priestess. Wow. So they're all there to see if this building is haunted, and they have some disagreements on how things should be done, and who can do what, and it just pretty much takes off from there. That's what the whole series is about. The whole series is about them going on these assignments and seeing if places are haunted and dealing with the beings that are in the structures. So that's pretty much what the series is about. It is totally awesome. I love it. Though I do warn you, there are some things about the series that might throw you for a little bit of a loop. A lot of the stuff, there are a couple of things that they mention in the series that is only really in the manga. There's some little things that Naru says that doesn't quite make sense unless you've read the manga. There are some differences between the two, so if you watch the series, definitely go read the manga to see what happens, because they do cut it short, which is a little bit my one problem with this series is the way they ended it. It really could have gone on longer, but I think because the anime finished before the manga did, that's why they had to cut it short, and they didn't want to put fillers and stuff in there. So that's what I have to say about this series. It's absolutely awesome. Pick up Ghost Hunt. It is amazing. I love it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!